Groundwork, a spotlight on the trails. In this series we examine how 4 contrasting models of trail building and maintenance work around the world.
I guess the Enduro World Series, to me, from my point of view, it's sort of the benchmark in the ultimate trail, like the ultimate trail destinations and the ultimate trails to ride. As a mountain biker, I would basically look at the Enduro World Series as, I guess, a platform of riding destinations around the world.
In this feature, we're going to put a spotlight not just on the trail builders, but how different communities engage with their local trail networks for the betterment of the economy, for the sport, for the environment, for the sustainability of the actual trail network itself.
At this moment in time, I guess soil searching is basically I guess call it a movement or whatever you want to call it, of recognizing, celebrating and supporting the unsung heroes of our industry, which is the trail builders and the trail advocates that we quite fundamentally depend on, for a healthy industry.
Ultimately, as a big collective, we really need to look at our riding communities and at our riding destinations and figure out how we can best support and celebrate the work that's going on the ground.
Our series begins with a tiny town making a big impact on mountain biking, Derby in Tasmania. There can be no doubt in the quality of what has been built in Derby either. The Detonate stage won the inaugural Specialised EWS Trail of the Year back in 2017. Turning what was an ageing mining settlement into a trail-riding goldmine was no easy feat, so the local government worked alongside Glenn Jacobs' World Trail crew and the locals to produce one of the most entertaining networks of trails anywhere on Earth. World Trail saw huge potential in the hillsides and terrain surrounding the town and made it their mission to incorporate as much of it as possible into the 125 kilometres of trails they built between 2015 and 2019. Once it was confirmed that the Enduro World Series was coming to town, the green light was given for further trail development. The championship first visited the town back in 2017 and returned again for 2019. It is estimated that the Blue Derby Trail Network is worth $25 million to the Tasmanian economy. Over 51,000 man-hours have been invested in the trails. But the network hasn't stagnated. A full-time trail maintenance manager is now in place and the network has grown 55% since the last summer season. That manager was involved in the build from the start with World Trail and is now employed by the council to ensure that their design and build legacies live on. The Derby model is an effective one. Experienced trail builders bringing out the best of local terrain, supported by local government who are prepared to invest not only in the trails, but also the surrounding infrastructure. Our spotlight now turns to the tiny island of Madeira, who burst onto the international mountain bike scene in 2017 with one of the wildest and most diverse trail networks in the world. What's unique about Madeira though, whereas in Derby, Tasmania we saw a trail network funded by local government, is that it's been a vision of one local company. Freeride Madeira have built and developed the majority of the trails on this rugged island.
Freeride Madeira was founded by people that had to build their own trails to start riding mountain bikes. So we soon recognized that the trails are our main product, that we had to invest in them, making them safe and flowy, that most people could ride them. So we started right away employing trail builders to work on a daily basis on the trails so we can have the quality of network that we have nowadays. When we started the company, Madeira wasn't known as a mountain biking destination. Either did our government understand the sport. So we basically started to invest from our own pockets on the trail maintenance and development. And since then, it's been always the same. Now that we work closely with the government, they start seeing the growth of the sport and how beneficial it is to the island. And things are changing slightly. But still, we still put up about 20% of our income into the trails monthly. which has worked pretty well for us along the years. So since the EWS appeared, it really captured our attentions because the style of riding was identical to the style of riding that was going on in Madeira, and we were trying to develop. So bringing all the big names to the island would create a huge impact on the locals and our government. So the tracks that we built for the Enduro World Series in 2017 and 19 has enabled us to create trails in a legal way, which are safer and have the approval of the EWS board, which will stay here forever and make people enjoy them throughout the whole year. Madeira went from being just a place for local mountain bikers to a place known worldwide for mountain biking. So went from 0 to around 5,000 people visiting Freeride Madeira per year to ride these trails, which increases the value for the island.
Whistler, one of the world's most famous riding destinations, exists and is maintained thanks to the combined efforts of the bike park, WORCA, an organised volunteer group, and the local government.
My name is Darren Kinnaird and I'm the General Manager of Crankworks. The bike park has been massive for summer development in Whistler. You know, in the past, the local economy would be based on golf, and we're talking 20, 25 years ago. But when the bike park opened in the late 90s, and as festivals started to form around the bike park, it really exploded to now where, you know, there's hundreds of thousands, if not millions of visitors every summer coming to Whistler to either ride in the bike park or just ride around Lost Lake, the Valley Trail stuff. I mean, Whistler truly has a mountain biking or cycling opportunity for everyone.
My name is Dan Raymond, and I'm the lead trail builder for WORCA, the Whistler Off-Road Cycling Association. And my job is to run the trail crew that maintains and builds new trails outside of the bike park. We're a non-profit, community-based club that has taken stewardship of all the trails in town over time. Our funding model started out as just a completely volunteer organization. The club was formed when we got restricted access. Access was being closed from trails. So volunteers took it upon themselves to build trails, but also to fix the existing ones to show, hey, we're not so bad. We deserve our place to play in the woods. And that's evolved over time into an organization that's getting most of our funding from donations, from sponsors, from fundraisers, and from the local tax base to actually maintain the existing trails and add to the network.
I think there's sort of three components to how trails are maintained and developed in Whistler. Obviously, everything in the bike park is through Whistler Blackcomb. The stuff around Lost Lake is more of the the resort municipality of Whistler, and the dirt jump park. That stuff's all built and maintained by the RMOW. And then the stuff that's sort of around town, that's truly volunteer trail builder work, quite often in conjunction with or funded by WORCA, the Whistler Off-Road Cycling Association. So there really is sort of three branches that are at times working together, but at times don't need to work together to build and develop the trail system here. There is some funding from the local government that does help with the Whistler Off-Road Cycling Association, but a lot of it's membership and volunteer hours that go into all the great work those guys do.
Well, the biggest change has been due to popularity. The trails are getting used a lot more because Whistler's turned into this global, we like to think, the center of the universe in mountain biking. How important is it to the local economy? You can quantify it. The number for 2016 was $57 million for a small town of 12,000 inhabitants. That's amazing in terms of what it brings to our local economy. But it's even more impressive when you see how many people work in the biking industry, how many people ride bikes for fun in town, how many people embrace that people from all over the world are coming to Whistler to ride here. And how important is it to the local economy is maybe unmeasurable.
The final venue in our series is the spiritual home of the Enduro World Series, Finale Ligure in Italy. The beautiful old town on the Ligurian coast has become one of Europe's biggest mountain bike hotspots. In Italy, the approach is a community one. Local businesses have grouped together to fund the trail network's development in the region. During the last decade, Finale Ligure on the northern Mediterranean coast has carved out a name for itself as one of Europe's must-ride mountain bike destinations. But the origins of the trails are much, much older. The area has the densest concentration of hills and mountains in all of Italy and has been inhabited since the Neolithic era. Ancient man shaped the hillsides first with terraced farming and then with transportation routes. A network of tracks and trails soon spread across the region. So how did the small coastal area turn 10,000 years worth of trails into a cohesive riding destination? The answer was through community and a simple mantra: search, find, clean, dig, ride, repeat. A vibrant group of local businesses began clearing, improving and then riding ancient trails, and word soon started to spread. Finale has no official governing body. Rather, the trail maintenance and development is a delicate balance between landowners and trail builders, with support from shuttle companies and the other local businesses who have seen the benefits of mountain biking. For more info on Groundwork or ways to get involved in sustainable trail building, check out EnduroWorldSeries.com.